Oh, as usual, my brain stopped the second the timer stops. Maybe I'm starting to have, I think I have a Pavlov dog's reaction to every single time.
Maybe.
Like the timer stops, the live starts, and my brain just goes. Anyway, hello everyone. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome to my face, my card making space. We are live, unscripted, unfiltered, pure chaos. And the unpaid intern is sitting in the corner.
That's me.
He's going to help today as usual. And yeah, it's going to be Northern Arizona with lots of snow. Yeah, our snow has traveled into the southern and southeastern. I always have to
Well, basically just everywhere.
you know. But yeah, it's chilly here and snow, but we're gonna make spring themed cards because that's what I'm in the mood for. Obviously, definitely cannot be more than enough spring. What?
Arizona was not. Yeah, I just wasn't listening before.
Oh, you were zoned right out as per usual.
Yeah.
Both of us. It takes a while for our brains to fully warm up, even though it's afternoon here. Well, you could turn the heater on.
It's okay.
It just needs to be plugged in. Yeah. Gonna use more of the Pretty Pink Posh February release because it's super cute, super fun. I did a couple of videos so far earlier. When this live is completely over, I'll put them in the end screen at the very end of the live. And side note with Pretty Pink Posh specifically, anyone ordering like directly from Pretty Pink Posh, give her a little extra grace. She had her little baby at the very beginning, like the day before the release. She was due later this month, and then that little munchkin decided to show up early, and she's adorable. If you go on the Pretty Pink Posh social media, she's got it on their Facebook page, and I think on their Instagram, a picture of her little new tiny, and she's adorable. So when I talk small business and my love of supporting these small crafty businesses, Pretty Pink Posh is probably the smallest one. It is like her and her husband, maybe a helper, but like that's it. So just give her a little extra grace, on like turnaround times. I think they're caught up as far as I'm aware. I just wanted to like make note of that. So yeah, I love Paulina. She is awesome. I have been a fan since she started. I think it's been 11 years now. Forget exactly how many years it's been since Pretty Pink Posh became a thing. It's been many years, and I've been a fan. I have been a fan, and I have ordered a lot. So, my Ultimate program on Friday was great. Yeah. Oh, it was chaos, y'all. The tech gremlins were out in force. That live was supposed to be on my channel as well on Friday. Did not happen. It happened briefly, and then everybody got booted out because the software was just not. It's in 3 parts. I've got it on my website. You'll see it. I posted a picture of the card I made, and then I linked to the 3 separate lives we did, because those of you that have watched for a long time, sound familiar? Sound familiar to some of the ridiculous crap I have to deal with? So yeah, I did that. I was going to do bonus lives last week, but no, just last week was chaos, to put it mild, just on all fronts. Like, it software wasn't working on all fronts. My emails now are getting bounced back. My business emails are getting bounced back and being flagged as spam. He was contacting me from the grocery store. He's like, their payment systems are down. I'm like, can we just stop? So last week was chaos. And yeah, it's just nuts. And I couldn't figure out where to sign up for your class. It's linked in the blog post. You want to bring up my website? And I'll tell you where to, and then you can put a direct link in the chat, because the info for the secret garment retreat, it's in that post. It'll be the one with the big flowery card Man, it's loading slow today. Scroll down. That one. The white. Nope.
There's 2 flowers.
Well, they're all flowery, but that one. Yeah, that's the post. If you could link to that post and just put it in the chat, that'll help. Anyway, so yeah, that was Friday. I did a live stream with Altenew to give some more ideas with the Secret Garden Retreat, which that is still available. I think the code I have, it'll be in the post. He posted it in the chat. I think that code works until the end of today because there's a discount on that retreat because it's a big kit. It's like 2 days of classes. I'm very excited. So that was Friday. And it was fun. Bridget and I had a blast amongst the insanity and Mitzi. And everyone was like jumping around with us because, yeah, we had to restart that live like 3 times. Tech gremlins, man. Anyway, so doing that, and then all the bonkers and nuts. And yeah, I appreciate those of you that jumped around because it was, yeah, there is something in the air. Everything's just been going wrong. Let's hope. I'm knocking on wood. Let's hope today just works, okay? Because I'm just like, I'm sure. Otherwise, you know, it'll be another live where I'm like sitting here crying over something. It is what it is. So yeah, I'll be doing another bonus live this week for sure because I couldn't get to him last week. So I'm not exactly sure when though. I gotta figure things out. I got a million things on my plate, and stuff's nuts. To put it mildly, and prep work, and I'm prepping for that Altenew retreat. I've got like just deadlines looming, so it'll be fun. But yeah, I think he linked to the post. That code ends tonight. I have sale info with Simon Says Stamp linked below with a code that also ends tonight. I don't think I have any other housekeeping that I can think of. If I do, we'll get to it. And yeah, we're gonna make a card, possibly 2. I don't know why I started stretching myself, but the idea started rolling, what have you. Last week's live, I did 3 cards like a crazy person and made it way more complicated than it needed to be, but we had fun. So yeah. And then on my Sunday lives, I do give away the card or cards that I make. The link and info is in the description box below, and the unpaid intern helps with that. And haven't mailed out nothing for a while. Again, you'll get it eventually. It'll get put in the mail. I have not had time to think, but when I get a brief window of whatever, I start bundling up the winners and getting everything dealt with. So anyway, all of the things are up to this point sort of taken care of, linked, info's there. That's all I can think of. Okay. And Jersey and New York, they're supposed to get hit with a blizzard, a big one, like a foot of snow. I hope everybody's got their supplies and hunker down so you can craft, because that's what we did. Yeah. That was part, because that was last week. Mm-hmm. We got, it hit us first. We were trapped in our house.
Very much so.
Literally.
We're still digging out a little bit.
Yeah. Our street still hasn't been cleaned off, which is kind of a first. Usually our community is pretty quick, but we got blasted with that snow and we were trapped in our house. We could not get out. It was fun. Last week was fun, man.
Find some new snow dumps because ours are full now.
Yeah, the snow dumps are full. I'm not surprised. We got hit hard. It was chaos, y'all. So it's now moved down further south and east, and hunker down, everybody, because it's still winter.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Fun. So everybody be safe. And Friday's live stream, it's linked in that post that he put in the chat. It's on my blog. It was, there it is. This card. I was like, it's here somewhere. Look for this card. This is what I made on. There we go. It's kind of washed out in this camera, but go on my website, amyrsavvy.com. It's near the top. This card, that post, has all the links because it's 3 links, 3 parts to that live. And yeah, we had a fun time. It was fun. It was fun. Chaotic, fun, good to go. And then, yeah, I've got a code that expires. I think it expires tonight for the Secret Garden 2026 retreat. Okay. My 19-year-old is learning to drive. He got stuck in the latest storm we had. I welcome to the long winter tradition of getting stuck in snow. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. If you live anywhere that has snow, you need to learn how to drive in it. And regardless, even here where we half the year's winter, everyone forgets. First snow falls, chaos. I don't leave the house. And I was like, it's not worth driving because everybody forgets every year. It's like, what is this? I'm like, anyway. Okay, let's switch the camera down. So, for sure, one card. We'll see if the second one happens. I'm going to keep them pretty similar. So, this will work. This will work. We'll see. But my main thing first is the little watering can shaker. And with pretty much almost all of the Pretty Pink Posh like shaker die sets, and there's a lot of them, they are usually in multiple parts. So you can do either or. So you've got the outline, the die cuts, and adds the stitching detail, which love, and then separate die or dies that you can use to cut to turn this into a frame and make a shaker, you know? So I'm not doing shaker cards today. It's an option and it's adorable. But I just die cut the watering can. And then I also, because I die cut literally, y'all, I die cut a pile of stuff. We'll get to it. But while I was doing that then, I also die cut the umbrella topper, which is from the Springtime Holder Editions little die set, not little, big die set. This I used in my last Pretty Pink Posh video, the one with the little chick. I had him sitting in the umbrella because why not? It was super cute. So I die cut that again. And I die cut these from technically cardstock that's no longer available, which I found out when I was trying to add my links. This is Lawn Fawn's Apricot. Yeah, this is Lawn Fawn's Apricot cardstock, which apparently no longer exists, which I was like, boo, it's a pretty color. However, I went through my stash. Concord and Ninth Nectar cardstock is very close. They're not an exact match, but it's very, very close. So can be subbed. We're gonna go with that. So I die cut my 2 pieces. Just kept it simple. And then I want to make them checkered because I can. Because I can. So I got the little mini checker stencil. And what I thought I was going to do is I stuck them to my grip mat. I want to do this first because then this can just sit while I do all the other things I want to do. And then it can dry because I want to add texture paste. So I've just got some opaque white texture paste with press and seal on it because press and seal helps preserve your paste. This is one of the types of products that use it. Do not hoard and collect your paste. Some pastes last longer than others. Formulas vary. We have so many different kinds. These type, like just your basic texture pastes, do seem to last quite long. Like I've had this one for years. Press and seal for the win. However, paste just will not last forever. The more air that gets in there, the formula dries out. Sometimes you can add a bit of distilled water. Really, if it's got to the point where it's basically dried out and useless, doesn't hurt to play chemist and try to get it to work again. Just temper your expectations. Glitter pastes are a whole other formula. Those ones will hard as a rock. So use your paste. Some things we can collect, like paper, stencils, certain things that just aren't going to dry out, rot, anything. Let's collect. But your paste, use them. I have thrown out so many over the years because they'd sit in a drawer. I'd forget I even own them. And then I'd go to use them. And the container was just like a brick. Like a brick. So, use your paste. Anyway, just basic white paste. Nothing crazy here. I just thought, you know, who wouldn't want a little like peachy colored peach and white checkered umbrella or a, you know, peach and white checkered like watering can. I would love that. I think it would be cute. So, I'm just going to apply it and then I'll set these aside to dry. And then I'm also going to employ the unpaid intern. I'm going to need you to go wash this off for me because I'm going to need it. I'm going to need it again. And yeah. So just apply it with my little palette knife like so. Burp. Doesn't need to be perfect, but OCD always does its thing. There we go. And since I'm not applying it super thick, this will dry in a decent amount of time. Yeah. There we go. So, just like so. And you can also, with the press and seal, it just depends on my mood. You can like have a larger piece, press the press and seal down to remove all the air, you know? Kind of how you do with like when you're making certain desserts, things, puddings, those type, you know, pastry mixes, yada yada yada, where you put the cling wrap right onto there so it doesn't create a skin. You can do the same thing with your paste. I do it sometimes. With this one, I just obviously never did, but I seal back up. Maybe Lawn Fawn's new peach. I ordered, I did order the little assortment pack of Lawn Fawn's new colors. I'm curious. So we'll see, but those won't get to me for a while. Okay. Yeah, if you could go wash this for me in the sink. Thank you. The rest of this I can do myself. So, I'll take that guy. See, isn't he cute? Oh, I love it. Okay. I know this book. Oh, I know. It's hard, especially things like paste, because we have so many now. There's so many brands, there's so many styles, so many options, and yeah, I have a lot. I've purchased a lot because I do this as a job. I've had, you know, a bunch have been sent to me. There's no way I could keep up with it all, but yeah, they're fun. They're fun. It's just you got to use them, you know. So I'm just kind of going around since these are, you know, making sure any little greebly like sticky out parts, just moving them with my fingers so it's got the smoother edge so that these can then dry. And then for this, I'm just going to wipe this up. Actually, I can sort of scrape off any excess. If I really want to, I could put it back in there, but I'm not going to bother. It's not really that much. And then wipe off my little palette knife. Things like glitter, like paste like this are really easy to clean up. Glitter paste, clean immediately. Clean immediately. Either throw your stencil in a dish with warm soapy water or clean it immediately. Same with if you're working on a mat, because glitter paste, again, it's beautiful. I love it. It dries like cement. Like I have on some of my mats, I still have bits of like glitter paste just fused to it. I don't care, but it is a pain in the butt. So that's been cleaned off. You have my stencil?
I do.
Perfect. Perfect, because I'm going to use it again. So, thank you. You even put a little paper towel on it. There we go. So yeah, he's been cleaned off. Love it. You can't go wrong. This is just a good basic pattern, you know? It's cute. It's cute. Okay, I'm gonna set that over there for now. So we got my two little bits. So we'll let those sit and just dry. And then I thought I'll add some to my backgrounds. So my backgrounds, I used an oldie but goodie fit. Where is it? Here it is. I gotta carefully grab this so I don't knock my trays of die cuts over. This came out forever ago. I don't even know. I've used it in previous like videos and stuff. I forget how long ago this came out, but this is the Pierced Leafy Vines plate. It's very pretty. So this I die cut from Spellbinder's chiffon cardstock, which just to give an idea of like the difference in color. So that's Lawn Fawn Apricot / Concord and Ninth Nectar, really. And then that's chiffon. So just very, very pale, peachy pink color, like very pale. I've been hoarding this. Cardstock we can hoard. You know, it's not going to go bad, but I pulled it out to use for today's cards. So I ran that through, and I thought I would actually add a little bit of the pattern just because I can. You know, why not? Just for funsies. So I need, let me use one of these big boys, and then wipe off my brush. He should be good. He should be good. Gonna use that. Got some peachy keen ink. And then I need a scrap of paper so I can see. Oh yeah. Let me. Yeah. Okay. I think this is one of the big waffle flower like background blenders because I just want to do a quick. Just quick. Nothing too chaotic here. Doop doop doop. Mm-hmm. Like so. Yep. Just gives it a little extra something, you know? I don't know why, but I really like layering. Either layering stencils, layering texture dyes and stencils, stamping, you know, just layers. It's just, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. So we'll add that like that. And then, of course, while I'm at it, I could do this on the inside of the cards. Love it. So if I'm going to do that on the inside of the card, let's make sure I don't have a bunch of ink on there. And it would help to have card bases, you know?
It does help.
Oh, I do. Ha. Ha. I do have finished card bases on hand. Sometimes I always forget. Okay. So, card bases, standard A2 size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Nothing crazy there. My trusty piece of Post-it tape right at the score line to keep me from going past it. And then I can put my stencil right on here like so. And basically kind of just take whatever's left on the stencil and my brush, like not re-inking it right now. Yep. There's our little, the start of the inside. Okay. So there's that one. And since we're doing everything in twos, do the second card base like that. Yep. So I have to add a little bit of ink this time because I basically kind of used it all up. So just, I'm barely like pressing the ink pad. Just keeping it light because you don't want the inside to be like super dark, especially when it's a pattern because then it's hard to like see any writing over it. So we'll just, there we go. Lovely. Lovely. I like peeled one of my nails. Good job, Amy. Okay. So there's the second inside. So we've got that and that. And then for all my die cuts, I die cut more than I needed. I kind of went a little nuts. So all of the greenery bits are from the Stitch Spring Flowers die set, which again, love, because she's got it set up so that each of the dies were the dies, so I can show them. Die cut 2 at a time, and then with the flat, like 3, but 2, 2, 2, you know. So you don't really need to do that many passes, but I zoned out and die cut a bunch. So Stitch Spring Flowers, and then also some of the little ones are from that same editions set. Was it Spring Holder Editions? I've got, again, things piled up all over the place. Yeah, the Springtime Holders Editions. It's got some little leafy bits and a little butterfly, which we'll get to, because of course. So I die cut just a whole bunch. Got like embossing powder everywhere. Y'all, I got a mess going on. Chaos. So I die cut these from some green apple cardstock. I could have just done white. I did white for the flowers, which we'll get to. But for the greenery, die cutting it from green cardstock just makes it faster. I have the Pink Fresh Magic brushes. Do I need to get these waffle flower brushes as well? Probably not. People don't need every single brand, every single thing. From what, like, I like the Pink Fresh ones for, I think that's enough. I can save some of these. I like the Pink Fresh brushes more for that really super soft blend. When you want that like glow and just really, really soft blending. That's what I like those Pink Fresh brushes for. And then the waffle flower ones, I like, when I really want to cover a large area and go like deep. But with either one, you can do light blending. Like, you just got to vary your pressure more than anything and how much ink you're putting on the brush. So if you've got one or the other, you technically don't need both. Like, again, I do this as a job. So I don't need to purchase as much because things get sent to me. Would I buy it? Yeah, probably I'd buy it anyway because I'm always curious. But yeah, I have a crazy amount of blending brushes. Love them. They're fabulous. But yeah, you don't need a million blending brushes. Okay. So I'm just gonna like fill this thing with all my little leafy bits so that we can just add some ink to give everything more depth and dimension, etc. Let's just start with that. Like this. This won't take like super long because we're gonna slap on some ink. So I've got inks. I need to move these guys. Where can I put these? I need to set these aside so they can dry fully. Oop. There we go. Okay. If I move that like that, and then I'm gonna start with, I do like limeade, and then I have matcha tea. Doop. And then I also pulled out and storing dyes, backdrop stencils. How do you store? Mixed company, store by theme. I store by company because again, I do this as a job. So I store by brand because depending on what I'm doing, usually it's brand specific, and that's what works best for me. If I wasn't doing this as a job, I probably would store by theme, like backgrounds, Christmas, Halloween, florals, etc., etc., etc. But it just depends on the person and how they want to organize their things, which is a full hobby in and of itself. Really, really, like, yeah. And I'm not organized. I want to be. I'm working on it. It's gonna take me forever. I'm just so overwhelmed with all the things. Plus, I have so much random, like, discontinued and retired sets and whatever. And I'm not joking when I say I need more hours in the day. I need to clone myself. It'd be great if my little unpaid intern could actually, intern for me full time. But he needs to keep his real job that helps pay the bills too. So, not to mention, I don't think for us to work together like that,
Have you ever know, like,
I don't know. It would be interesting.
there's a thing about, like, YouTube couples not staying as couples after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, but that's YouTube couples. When people turn their relationship into content,
Yes.
that, like, I don't do that.
No.
I find that you get yourself into a weird territory when you are turning your relationship into content. That's a whole other ball of, because you're performing for the camera, you're performing for the audience.
I know.
And when you're constantly filming, exactly, how would you be authentic? Like, yeah, it would be weird, in my opinion. And besides the fact, I don't make enough money for that. So that's why he's the unpaid intern, and he only is able to help during my Sunday lives. And then he helps with other stuff around the house, of course. That's how I'm able to do the work I can do. But
the house is my domain.
the house is your domain. But yeah. I don't know. Part of me is like, we would work together great, but also I think after, as it is with we both work from home, and it sometimes gets a little bit just,
I love spending time with you, and I love spending time apart.
Yes, I'm kind of the same way, and he knows. Sometimes he comes in here, and I'm just like, no, leave me alone. Wah. I need my space. Anyway, I missed something there. How do you recall who made what? I keep everything stored like in the packaging it came in. Like, all the brands come with their brand label on the packaging, and I keep the packaging. I don't get rid of it. And if with a few things, because again, I do this as a job, some product that gets sent to me does come like unpackaged, because it's just how some of the samples and things get sent. And when that's the case, then I make a label for it, but I keep it with that same brand. So Pretty Pink Posh stays with Pretty Pink Posh. Waffle Flower stays with Waffle Flower. Simon Says Stamp, Altenew, etc., etc., etc. I keep it all together. And I can tell just by looking at most of the things I have. Like, even if I didn't have the packaging, I know just by looking at it. It's like, oh, that's a Pretty Pink Posh set. So, yeah. I'm not very organized per se, but yeah, I can generally find what I'm looking for. It's every once in a while something has grown legs and walked off, and it's like I'm looking for a very specific die or stamp set, and I cannot find it for the life of me.
Sometimes it takes you months to find it.
Sometimes, because he's wandered in here, and I'm having like a meltdown because I was like, I have an idea and I need this specific, and I can't find it. And then I will find it way after the fact in the most bizarre place. It's like I obviously had spaced out and put it where it didn't belong. It's like I'll find the spring flowers set I was looking for, and it was like mashed up with my Christmas stuff. Who knows? Some just silly things like that. So, yeah. I don't watch any reality TV. Yeah, me neither. I don't at all. It's not my jam. I'm aware Some of it here and there, depending. Some of it gets fed to me against my will. Just more like other things that I follow will sometimes do commentary on certain reality stuff. Or there'll be memes, certain crazy, and it's usually the housewives will do something insane and it becomes a meme, and I can keep up with that. But actual like reality TV, I'm not a fan. No judgment against anyone who likes it. It's to each their own. Um, I just, yeah, it's just not my thing, you know? But sometimes I'll see clips that'll come across my feed and I was like, I get why people watch it. It's entertaining, man. But yeah.
It's kind of like, it's almost like a real, like, Trailer Park Boys kind of thing sometimes.
Oh yeah, it is.
You have
Like
to have
reality
it, like,
TV isn't reality. It's
No.
all like manufactured and scripted. None of it's real. You gotta watch it with that lens. It's like it's all just manufactured drama and nonsense constantly. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes if it's done right, it can be entertaining and funny and whatever. But yeah, more often than not, I just don't have the time, y'all. That's the biggest thing. Is I just don't have the time for reality television. But all that to say, I will not be I will not be pivoting and, filming personal content with me and the unpaid intern, let alone
No.
I've already spoke. I don't put my children online. I will not include them in my content in any way, shape, or form.
I'm sure we'll craft together again.
Oh yeah. He'll make a card with me again. We just have to I just gotta figure out the setup again, y'all, because it's not easy to film with another person when my entire setup is all set up just for me. Just me, because I'm the one in here. Because I never even thought about, like, oh, I might film with another individual. And so, yeah,
You
I
almost need to make another space for that sort of thing.
just about, well, no, I need to move things around. And that's also not an easy thing for me to do. Yeah, the absolute nightmare I have going on in here. And again, because it always gets asked, like people wanting a studio tour, that is not on my to-do list. Most likely isn't going to happen. I've shown older ones. It's been years. Just biggest thing is I just don't have the time, let alone privacy things and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's my setup is a little bit of a logistical nightmare. Let's just put it at that. Okay, I've ink blended this batch, and I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna put it on a hardboard. This little, just to have it all laid out, because I want to add splatter, of course. When you have enough drama in your own life, you don't need extra fake stranger dramas. Oh, exactly. My life is chaos, y'all. I don't need reality TV when my own life is basically a dumpster fire 24/7. It's just chaos. But yeah. Yeah. Do do. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing. I have many thoughts on being a content creator, parasocial relationships, including your partner or your children in your content, so many things. It's a very weird space to navigate. And as someone who's been doing this for 2 decades and has a YouTube channel that's, is it 18 years?
Yeah.
Like, I have been doing YouTube for more than 18 years. And y'all, like, one of the top Google searches still for my name is AmyR husband. Like, people.
Yeah, it's the fourth. It's the third one down.
It's gone down to the third. Okay, so it's, the interest is starting to waver. Good. Because it used to be the first one. And I was just like, seriously, y'all.
Its vlog is the top one now.
Good. Good.
Second one is YouTube.
But yeah, like I've had people get mad at me more recently, like about you. Like, who's the unpaid intern? I'm like,
I wonder what would happen if
that would be funny. That would be funny. Okay, so we did that first little bit. Where's my
actually the top link is to your blog if I put in AmyR Savvy unpaid intern.
Oh, that's funny.
And it links to the Christmas one we did together.
Oh, really? That's hilarious. Yes, he and I did do a card making video together. It's been like 3 years now or something. It's been a long time. And because people were asking again not too long ago. I got so many people reaching out and messaging me and like, when are you going to do this? When are you going to have him and make a card? And I was like, oh, we already did it. Like literally years ago. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Okay, I wiped all that green ink off there because I still have a few more little bits I want to add some ink to. So the little stem bits are from that same stitched spring flowers. And I die cut them again just from that green apple cardstock, which the nice thing, like starting with a colored cardstock base gives you, just gives you a starting point. So then you don't have to blend as much. But for my florals, I did do just white. I just did white cardstock for the flowers because those we can add some color to. So we'll stick some of those guys on here. And they've all got little round because it makes it easier because as usual, Paulina and the people she has design stuff is so you've got a landing spot for the flowers to adhere them. Love it. Love it so much. Okay, let's do a few more little short guys. People are basically nosy. Oh yeah. Like, and I don't I get that, you know. Like that's human nature. We're all nosy. I get it. There's a fine line though between being curious and people are genuinely curious. I'm 100% okay with that. And when people ask different things, like people have asked, like, are you two actually married? But that one, as the years go by, has been less and less. Like back in the day, it was just such like being an unmarried woman. Like, but again, that's when you start getting into some of like social bizarre aspects. Because yeah, as a single mother. Oh, the judgment. The judgment.
Just don't be showing your ankles on camera.
Don't be showing my ankles. It's true though. Seriously. Like, thankfully my audience was pretty darn amazing when I went through my divorce and all the craziness. And there was a lot of people that were just unimaginably like compassionate and thoughtful and all the things. And yeah, went through it, survived, and then got to deal with tons of judgment, not from my audience, because again, my audience was awesome, but in real life, the judgment and the BS of being a single mom was disgusting.
Like the community rallied around you or anything.
It was something else. And that was another one of the first things with him was he was the first dude I ever met, when I was seeing people, all the things, that it didn't faze him at all that I had many children. And he was the first one to not ask how many dads. It didn't even occur to him to ask that. And because, yeah, the judgment. It was... Yeah. And I remember asking you that. I was like, it doesn't bother you that I have four children? He was like, no, why should it? And I was like, okay, cool. Anyway.
Are they fed?
Yeah, are they fed? Yeah, exactly. Really, that should be more of the questions. Like, how much is your grocery bill every month? A lot. Anyway. I get judgment for being married for 18 years and having no children. Oh yeah, women get judged for everything. Y'all, I could go on another feminist rant. Because no matter what women do, there's always a big chunk of people that determine that it is wrong. And it's, how about we just not do that no more? How about we just stop judging women for their choices, life, bodies, appearance, hair color, eye color, etc. You know, you know. Anyway, all of that to say, I will not be doing any of that type of content because it's just not my thing. The most I've done is I have become a bit of a beauty influencer, and even that I take with a massive grain of salt and poke fun at myself constantly for being a professional beauty influencer because that I only do is a little bit of a barely there side gig for the most part because that's just more content. I don't want to get deep into that world because it is talk about getting judged and it is a nasty ugh, ugh. I get judged enough on my looks. Just I make cards on the internet, y'all, and some of the chaos is absolutely insane. See the depth I'm getting with all my little pieces. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. As if being a single. Oh, trust me, y'all. Like it's like I just I look back on that time of my life and some of the just insanity I had to put up with. And yeah, it's a little bit nuts. Where are my little here we go. So I'm not getting like green ink shoved under all my nails. So we can pull up all these little pieces off my mat. And I was not kidding when I said I die cut so many. So many. Like a crazy person. But if I have extras after these cards, which I most likely will, like I already have, if there's some on that tray, I'm not going to ink blend them because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The extras I'll just save. Who knows? I might be able to, I'm planning on doing, like I said, a bonus live at some point this week. And maybe I'll incorporate some of the floral and greenery bits, or I'll take a whole other track. I'm not 100% sure yet. I got ideas. I just need more hours in the day. Okay. So there's only pieces. We'll come back to that in a second. I just need to wipe down. Rochelle, that is awesome. And yeah, very similar. Very similar. It's a little bit nuts. Okay. So I want to wipe this off because we're going to come back to the ink blending in a second. Look, I know the little pieces are adorable. I like all these pieces. When it all comes together too, it'll make more sense. Okay. Get the green ink off here so we can go on to, I want to add a bit of splatter, of course, to these, which I need a bigger boat, honestly. I really do. I've knocked my got my cloth is stuck in my wheel. Okay. These all need to go. These guys are actually almost dry. So we'll come back to all of that. Just get them out of the way. They just go out the door. And then we got that. And I'm just gonna stick that right in there. And then for these guys, I'm gonna use let's do mold on. Okay. We are gonna add some distress spritz. Some of the comments made about the Olympic athletes. Honestly, that kind of stuff, one, I don't I don't consume a lot of that stuff, but I see stuff comes across my feed every once in a while. My favorite is especially when uneducated, unwashed men make comments about women, especially female athletes. And the clapback is generally to like, please share your, gold medal, silver, bronze, any of it really. Once you get to an Olympic level, but any female athlete, really, they don't exist for the convenience of, again, uneducated, unwashed men. So I've been enjoying some of the clapbacks from some of those women that have blown my mind with their skill and yeah, all of it. So shake up the Distress Spritz really, really well because all that pretty shimmer settles to the bottom. And then I'm just took the lid off and then I'm just dipping a brush and splattering these. And it'll just add a bit of texture, a bit of shimmer, just a little extra something, something. Because I've been talking about this lately. Do I have all the colors of Distress Spritz? Of course I do. Have I been using them much at all? No. And that was because I did not have them in a convenient spot. And if I cannot get at something like quick and easy, am I going to use it? No. So I moved all my Distress Spritz in their little tins right in front of me on my desk here. And now I can grab them whenever I want. Okay. You guys probably won't be able to see it much on camera right now. It's there. It's there. It looks beautiful. Do, 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 do. There we go. There we go. Oop, oop, oop. There we go. Burp, burp. There we go. Just a little bit more. You can never have too much. You can never have too much. It's all pretty. It's all fun. Okay. So that was that one. Boop. And that was Mowed Lawn, specific like Mowed Lawn Distress Spritz, which again, more tone on tone for yeah, you can kind of see it. It just gives a little extra. So we got that one. And then we're gonna put, oh my gosh, okay. We got some flowers from the Stitched Spring Flowers. My brain stopped. Stitched Spring Flowers set. So if we do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do like 6. That's enough. Well, that should be enough. So those ones. And then we got these guys. Doop, doop. I've got so many. I die cut so many. Although the die does for these, the die cuts like 2 at a time, so it didn't even take that long. Let's just do that. Location is everything with supplies. Oh, it 100% is. It 100% is. Boop, boop, boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. I mean, again, can you have too many? Not really. So, I want to do, I think this one will do like peachy, darker pink, a lighter pink, peachy. Okay. So, I'll go back to that peachy keen color. There we go. And then I'll take, these are the little micro, the same ones I was using for the greenery. Doop, 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 doop. And then these guys, yeah, these guys. Like that. Just starting in the center, working my way out. like that. Just simple. Just like so. So that was those guys. Very quick, very simple. I think I may be the worst splatterer in the world. I have splatters on my floor that won't come up. I have splatters everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. It just is what it is. And I'm okay with it. You know? There we go. So we got Coral Bliss for these ones. And I'm not fully like covering each piece with the ink either. You know, leaving a little bit of the white cardstock exposed because it just gives it that extra, you know, a little bit of depth and what have you. And of course, in true Pretty Pink Posh style, there's like the little stitching detail, which I love it. I love it so much. And then of course, these are also going to get little splatters, you know. So we'll get some little splatters. Do. There we go. There we go. Like that. Like that. Oh, I love peachy colors. Like Peachy Keen is so good. Coral Bliss is one of my. I use Coral Bliss a lot. I love these sorts. And like this was the mood I was in. I was very peachy, pinky, yellowy. You know, that's what I was feeling for today's card. So that's what I'm going with. And then for a bit of a deeper little hit, I've got Raspberry Sunset, which is a bit more of a sort of muted ready pink sort of color. I just thought it would look really pretty on these tulips. There we go. Keeping it kind of darker towards the base and then like blending it upwards. There we go. Crafting glasses. Oh, love it. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, splatter gets everywhere. I was kind of talking about it more during the live I did with Altanu on Friday. We were discussing splatter and I was giving some tips and what have you. And the thing with splatter is you start to develop a feel for it the more you do it. You know, you start to figure out what brush works for you, what products work for you, et cetera, et cetera. That said, you can never fully control it. It still has a mind of its own, you know? It's still going to go where it wants to go. Like I have bits of splatter on, you know, my computer monitor, my camera lenses. Yeah, it's everywhere. It just is what it is. And I'm okay with it. That's also why I don't really wear, well, most of my clothes are like 10 years old. But it's like all my ratty little like yoga pants, sweatpants. If I am wearing anything that I consider it's either a little bit newer, something I really don't want to wreck, that's when I'll make a point to wear my apron, or I just, yeah. I don't leave my house very often, so I'm generally dressed like a vagrant, honestly. Sometimes the look the delivery people get from me when I open the door and they just look at me and it's like messy bun, dirty old sweat. I look like a hot mess and I don't honestly care.
You look great when you're a hot mess.
You're a weird dude. Anyway, okay. Blended. Good enough. I'm okay with this. Okay. So easiest way to do the splatter on this would be to just take, I have Oh, yes, I do. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is keep it all on there. Hello to everybody. So, and I just have random scraps of copy paper because I can just go like this. Because, of course, I want to do, let's go big or go home and do just, multiple colors. Because I can. Because I own all the colors. So for those guys, let's do, where's that plaid worn lipstick? Ooh. Not a color I would have thought to use, but let's do lumberjack plaid for the tulips. We'll do lumberjack plaid for that one. We'll do saltwater taffy and worn lipstick. Yeah. Why not? I've got all the colors. Let's just use them. So, if I worked from home and didn't have to be on camera, I would always look like a bridge troll. Well, and I'm on camera, and most of the time I look like a bridge troll, y'all. I don't even care. Like, I'll be filming intros. My hair's piled up my head. It's sticking out everywhere. I don't wear makeup hardly ever. It just depends on my mood. And it's just like, hey, like, I'm a professional. Welcome to the chaos. Okay, I shook that guy up. Dip my brush. Just add my little bits of splatters to the flowers. Just because I can. Boop, 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 boop. Good enough. Doop. Put lid back on before I knock that over because it's only a matter of time. Okay. So we did that one. Lovely. And then I can just sort of build a little barrier between one color and the next. This is why I have like 5 million random pieces of copy paper. I don't throw them out because they come in handy. So then for this one, we'll do worn lipstick. And yeah, see how all that shimmer is still there. You want to make sure everything is shaken up. Especially if you're going to actually spray these. You want to make sure, there you go, that all of that shimmer is dispersed because that's how you can clog the nozzle. But I find I prefer doing it this way, just shaking it up, taking the lid off, and then just dipping a brush and splattering it like this. Because you guys know, I like to splatter. This, it's not so much about the control. It kind of is, but really it's more just, I like it. I like it like this. So add a few little more. Doop, doop, doop. That guy needs a little more too. There we go. And then, wipe that brush off. Put that back on so I don't knock it over. Move that. And then, burp. There we go. There we go. And last but not least, saltwater taffy. There we go. And yeah, any of my like sprays that need to be shaken up, so anything with a pigment or a shimmer, when I'm working with them, I'll have them laying on their sides on my desk because they shake up faster. But storing them, I keep all my sprays, any liquid products, stored upright, because it would be just my luck, that something would leak, and that would not be fun. And now I lost my brush. What the heck?
Where'd it go?
I don't know. I just had it.
Well, it's not over here.
Did it roll under my... There it is. It rolled under the splat box. I was like, I was just using it. Oy, oy. Okay. Rolled under the splat box. Crisis averted. Okay. So add our little bits. Doop and doop and doop like that. Everything's gonna have the prettiest bits of shimmer. Okay. Keep the brush. A little more, we're gonna see it. Lid back on. That and that. And then we've got this set now done. Which really, this is all the kind of the bulk of these cards. Oh, there you go. See, there's a method to the madness. So pretty. And of course we're going to add other splatter once it's like assembled, because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we? There we go. Love it. So look at all these pretty little flowers. They just make me happy. I made that mistake at rustic buildings. Exactly. Like, especially like spray stains, like the type of sprays that are like dyed liquid, really pigmented. That's when those, oh, not a fun leak. Wouldn't be fun to clean up. Can wreck stuff, So yeah, I keep all my liquids stored upright. It's just safer that way. Okay, get all these guys off there. They're not like everything's dry. It's just that keeps them all um, a little more contained. I lost my little, I just want this. Boop. Get all that ink off of here. There we go. And then, last but not least, I have little tiny flowers from that set. Doop, doop. Reinkers. The reinkers I keep stored upright. I do not let my reinkers, because those oof, because they're a thicker, like concentrated liquid. And I have had in the past, I have had a reinker like burst. It is an absolute nightmare to try and clean up. So we got all these little guys. I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow ink to these. They're going to stay mostly white within reason. That's enough. I'm going to do that. We got some buttercream ink for that. And then, oh, a little bit of blending to give them this cute little bit of yellow, like so. I love yellow. I don't like filming with it, and I really hate taking photos with anything with yellow. My camera goes completely haywire, and more often than not, it translates into neon, and I cannot edit. I can't edit photos for the life of me. I've tried. It's not my forte. So, like everything, always disclaimer, photos generally, especially of my cards, are, it's like they look better in real life. Just trust me. Okay. So that was quick. And did I have any other? Oh, I had these little guys. I forgot. These are going to go on the inside. These little tulip dies are from the 4, 5. There's one more. are from the little spring holder editions. That's what this is from, because I was going to put these on the inside. So I need that raspberry sunset. Yeah, raspberry sunset color for those to keep everything sort of to use a particular way. All this white cardstock is Nina Classic Crest 80 pound. I could have used 100 pound, but I have a bunch of Nina 80 pound, and I just die cut scraps when I was doing all my die cutting for this. I just die cut 80 pound, but Nina Classic Crest, the 110 pound, is one of my like go-tos as well, of course, and I use that for my card bases, etc., etc. And it's fabulous. I love it. And the 80 pound is great. I just don't like 80 pound for card bases. It's a little too light for my taste. Okay. Yeah, that's all we need for the ink blending. So, boop. Lost my paper again. Let's put that in there. Let's put that in there. So, we need a yellow of some sort. Let's do, of course, fossilized amber, which is also a really pretty one. Like if you like a gold splatter, the fossilized amber distress spritz is very, very pretty. Yep, make sure it's all dispersed. Where's my papers? There they are. So we can just cover that. And then this one I've used a fair bit of. I've used about a not quite quarter of the bottle. Because it's gold, and you can never have too much gold, in my opinion. Boop, boop, boop. Lots of little tappy taps. Oh, when I was doing my live on Friday, and I was saying tappy tap, Bridget got it. She was like, "It's like Adam Sandler. Just tap it in." And I was like, "You get it." I was like, "That." It's always in the back of my head. Just tap it in. Yeah. The unpaid intern and I, our lives revolve around Adam Sandler movie quotes. It's a little ridiculous, but you know what? It is funny. And the movies are good. They're so good. Okay. So got that little bit of fossilized amber, and then we need to go back to the lumberjack plaid. Boop, 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 boop. Yes, antique linen is really pretty. It's like a champagne sort of a color of the antique linen distress spritz. Very pretty. Love it. When I was moving them to a more accessible spot, I was looking at that one again. I was like, oh yeah, this one's really nice. I like it. So yeah. All the cards are getting Distress Spritz Shimmer from now on because, I've got it all. It's pretty and it's sparkly, and I kind of have a weird obsession with Splatter, which, just is what it is. Boop, boop, boop. Good enough. Good enough. Okay, clean off my little brush. Put that lid on so I don't make a mess. Here we go. Yeah, I like 50 First Dates too. It's so silly, but so cute, Oh, get off. Okay. Let's just... So there's my wonderful little... my wonderful board of die cuts. And then we can just take all these little guys. And when you just splatter on something like this spritz, like just light little bits, it dries quite quickly. So I can go like that. There we go. There we go. Boop. Boop. Oh. And these little guys so that I can get this mat out of the way. I'm pretty sure we're done with this. I don't think we need it anymore. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good. We're good. It's good. There we go. Okay. So, oh, do I ever have a mess going on? This is insane. For the flower centers, I have a little pile. I need to put these into something. A little boop dish will work. A little boop dish will work. I die cut the flower centers when I was doing my just pile of die cutting because there's dies in the set that die cut like multiples at once. And I was die cutting scraps of like matte gold cardstock when I was doing all the other die cutting. So just threw in a scrap, die cut, threw in a scrap, die cut. And then I end up with a pile of little flower centers. Is my glue clogged? Yep, always. Always. Pin to the rescue. Boop. There we go. And a little embellishment wand. And then I can just stick just a dot of glue onto my little flowers like this. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. And then embellishment wand, like a wax pickup tool for the win. Because it is quick and easy. Like so. And all the extras will go right back. I just keep stuff like this like with the packaging. I just kind of dump it in the back of the package, and then the next time I go to grab it, I'll have all these extra little die cuts, and it's like, sweet, that just saved me a ton of time. So, super simple. And then same thing with these guys. Just little dabs of glue. And you could skip the die cuts. You could use little embellishments, little gems, little enamel dots would look super cute. But as always, I have a thing for gold. We talked about this in a recent live too. I think it was last week's live. I was like, Austin Powers, we need to watch those again. I like gold. You can't go wrong. So like, Adam Sandler and like Mike Myers' ridiculousness. Here for it. Totally here for it. Love it. Love it. Get. There we go. Boop. Yeah. Sometimes dropping them, they'll flip over the right direction. Sometimes that works. Sometimes not so much. Other times they just refuse. Come on. Get. Oh, you little booger. There you go. There you go. Doop. Stick that guy down. I could see too, but putting a foam square on the inside of the holder to help the gun against the. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Like. Yeah. With the. Yeah, you're supposed to keep and I do keep mine like it sits. You have to make sure it's sitting properly so the tip is touching the silicone. Yeah, maybe if you stuck something pushed a little foam square like right in that little opening, but even then, honestly, because like mine is just like this, mine clogs because I never put the lid on. I just don't care. I don't care, man. Do I want to put the flower centers on these little guys? I do have enough. Yeah, I kind of do because it'll look really cute. Okay. Set that there. Boop. Boop. And like that. Like it, they just look so cute. There we go. Zoolander. Zoolander was such a ridiculous movie. But still so good. You and I watched that not too long ago, didn't we?
Which movie?
Zoolander.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Like not even a year ago. But why male models?
Why male model? They use that line on Gavin.
Yeah. Just out of the blue, we'll be discussing something. And we're like, but why male models?
Why male model?
Again, our lives revolve around really ridiculous movie quotes that are just dumb. They're just dumb, and I'm here for it. Boop. Boop. There we go. Okay. Just about done with that. That one. And that one. Look at all those little flower centers, all fabulous. And dodgeball. Yep, that's another one. We were talking about that last week. 5 Ds of dodgeball. Dodge, dip, dive, and dodge. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So now we'll assemble these little sprigs are going to go on the inside of my cards because that's what these get attached to. It's these cute little tulips, just like so. So that one's assembled. And then this one's assembled, like so. So that's done. Actually, I should be putting these. Let's put them on a little tray over there. Just kind of get them out of my way a bit. Pile everything up over there. Okay. And then these ones. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, as usual, I've got more stems than flowers. No, some of those other ones I can attach. It doesn't matter. We can kind of do whatever we want. It doesn't matter. So for these guys, it's just the same thing, just on a bigger scale. I like that they have a nice size of a landing spot for the glue rather than just a like narrow stem. It just makes it so much easier. Let me just do that. And then we've got our little tulips looking all adorable. That one. And that one. Boop. That. That. There we go. So those guys are assembled. And then these double ones, I was gonna do these guys. The little peachy guys. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just like plop, plop. Little bits of glue. Like that. And then you just pick and place. They're so cute. I love it. That one. And that one. That. That. And that. Look at all my little flowers. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Have a coffee on me. Well, thank you. Red rubber ball to the face. Yeah. I hated dodgeball as a kid. I hate it. Like my anxiety. I loved it when, you know, when I would get someone else. But, oh, because there's some of those kids were mean. And I can still feel and hear it. Because we always use those specific balls.
Yeah,
Like, I, oh.
the kapong noise.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you're pulling on someone like just side of the head, you know? Not as bad as baseball, though. I hated playing baseball. I was always terrified it was going to hit me. Like, I always tried to pick up. I was talking about this in one of our lives. I always tried to pick a position where the chances were slim to none that anyone could hit the ball in my direction. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, some of them don't need stems because we'll use them as fillers. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the last of our little bits. Okay. So far and patient details. Kind of like a lot of this is a little bit fiddly per se, but this is the bulk of like the work of cards like this. And then, you know, but doing it in steps like I did. Like I did all my die cutting and the die cutting did not take very long for all of this because it was just I just die cut, you know, all the greenery. I die cut from one shade of green cardstock, so I just die cut a bunch of scraps. All the flowers were all die cut from just that Nina white cardstock. So the die cutting was quick, and then the ink blending didn't really take that long, but I was doing a ton of them. But now I've got a ton of die cuts. But when you do things in like batches, especially if you don't have, you know, because not everyone's doing this as a job. You know, a lot of people have out of the house real jobs and they only get to craft, you know, in little spurts. And what you can do is like do little batches. Like, oh, you got a little bit of time? Die cut a bunch of little pieces and then put them in a tray, set them aside. And then your next little chunk of time, you could sit and add some ink or some splatter, whatever you want to do, you know. And then the next little chunk of time, you can assemble. And then when all is said and done, you can end up with like a whole tray of, you know, a bunch of cute little die cuts. And then you can assemble a whole bunch of cards. Also works with like backgrounds, like playing around with techniques, create a bunch of backgrounds or just a handful of backgrounds, set them aside, and then you'll have things to like dig through and put together. And then you end up with like stuff like this, you know? So I've got my little flowers. I have also some little vellum butterflies because, of course, when I was doing all the die cutting, the little butterflies from that same springtime holder editions, that little guy, that's where this butterfly is from. And when I was doing all my die cutting, I just was die cutting little bits of vellum, and also the bodies. I was die cutting when I was die cutting the flower centers. I die cut the bodies from that same gold cardstock because I was like, oh, vellum butterflies with little gold bodies are going to be adorable. Like, you cannot. And it's got stitch detail in the wings. I love this little boy. I used this on the video I did with the little chick sitting in the umbrella. I did these, but I did black bodies with the little vellum wings, and I love him. He's so cute. So cute. So I got a bunch of butterflies, probably more than I'm going to need, but I will use them because you can always add a little. You guys know, I do this with so many of my cards. It's like add a little butterfly, add a little dragonfly, you know. They just give it a little extra something. And he's just so cute. The detail. So fun. It's just a little bit of glue. I don't even bother adding glue to the like antenna portion. Who cares? It doesn't matter. And then we just glue them together. And I have these adorable little butterflies and they make me happy. And when you're gluing to vellum, you just gotta remember that vellum is slippery in a sense. So things will slide a little bit, so you just let it sit. It will dry. It takes sometimes a smidge longer. But you just line them up. And yeah, he's just so cute. I just received my first ever order of Simon's Stamp Vellum. Had to have it after seeing you use it so much. I was immediately obsessed when I saw it in person. Yes, told you so. Told you so. It is a nice vellum. It is Simon Says Stamps Vellum is my most used, like just for a basic, because you know I got my shimmery vellums and my specialty vellums and all the things. But for just a basic vellum, Simon Says Stamps Vellum, been using it for years. It's to me, it's like the perfect weight. I've had some in the past, and I'm not even sure what brands or not, but I've had some that are heavier weight than this, which in theory it was like, oh, that would be awesome. But really heavyweight vellum, one, it's hard to find, but also it cracks really easily. Even when you die cut it, sometimes like heavyweight vellum, and it'll crack, and it's frustrating to work with. So this weight is really nice. And then there's other vellums I have that are much thinner than this. And they're pretty, but it's so thin that it's really finicky. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really finicky to work with, and it can tear really easily. So Simon's is like the perfect weight. And I have multiple packs. That's usually one of the things. It's just I'll just add it to an order. I don't need extra, but I like to have plenty on hand because I use vellum almost every single card I make. There we go. Especially for critter wings. I love it for butterfly and dragonfly wings. I love vellum. Either this vellum or I'll use the shimmery vellums, whatever. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I love it. Okay. I have so many die cuts, y'all, but we'll leave all those. Now, I need my backgrounds. Here we go. And the stenciling we did with the paste, it's dry. So it's got texture. You can still see the stitch detail. It's just fun. And then texture. Love it. Same with our little umbrella. And then our backgrounds. I'm going to trim these down just slightly smaller. Then, because right now the die cuts it to A2 size, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to trim them down to about 4 by 5 1/2, 4 by 5 1/4. Just a little bit smaller than an A2 card front. Because then the card base will give a little bit of a white frame. Just because, that little extra. There we go. Yep. Line that up. Okay. Just got that. That. We're gonna have that. And this guy, we're gonna pop up with foam tape, of course. Gonna add some Big Mama foam tape. There we go. Oop. Okay. So a little bit of foam tape to give the watering can a bit of dimension. I'm gonna keep a little bit of a gap along the top just to make it easier when I start tucking in all of these little die cuts. There we go. That guy in there. That guy like that. And I can just do a couple of narrow little bits like so. And like so. Okay. So that and that. That I can set aside. Okay. That. I know, right? This background is so pretty. I was flipping through. I was actually looking for something else, and then I came across this background again. I was like, "Ooh, I need to use that," because yeah, the Pierced Leafy Vines plate. I forget when that thing was released, but I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. It's been a while, and it's just pretty. It's just pretty. Okay, so we're gonna stick this guy like that. And then we're just going to start kind of figuring out where yeah, okay. I need more pieces of foam tape. Some cut up little bits. We'll have these guys. I need my leaves. So I can start just tucking things in. And we're going to use a combination of liquid glue and little bits of foam tape to build dimension. So go like that. See, it's going to start coming together and looking super cute. Okay. And then, just a little bit like this. Doop. Like that. So fun. And then we'll have little, like the other little greenery bits here and there. We can tuck in wherever. Like that. And then there'll be one, just like cut little bits off, edit your die cuts. Like that. Yes. Stick a little bit of glue. I can always come back after. I might squeeze like little bits of glue here and there just to hold stuff in a bit more. Yeah. But if I leave some of those pieces for now, just like these little flower bits, they can just float. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's do that. And then this one, another little foam square. It's cold Canada. Yeah, it's. I don't even know what the temperature is. It did get like chilly the other day. It was like minus 30 or something.
Minus 18.
It's only minus 18 right now. It's balmy.
Balmy.
Positively balmy. There we go. There we go. And then doop. And we'll just tuck that leaf in right there. Like that. And that one can go like that. Yeah. Just edit your die cuts, you know? Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. It's fiddly to do. Kind of, yeah. But I enjoy it more now. I talked about this in the past, like floral arrangements and how I avoided them. because I found it really frustrating and I didn't like how it looked. And it's an art, especially like florists, you know, who make bouquets and do these. It is an art, and it takes skill. And some people have an eye for it, and I, for the most part, don't really. Um, you know, I know where my skills lie with some things, but and floral arrangements isn't really one of them. But I'm getting better. Like the more I practice, you know, the the better I. There we go. I'm going to tuck him under there. The better I get on it within reason, but I still don't have as much of an eye for it as some. Some actual florists, and then some card makers just they genuinely have a real eye for like composition and that, and it is a very good skill. That one, and then I can just tuck that guy in like that. Um, do do do, and tuck that guy in like so. We got some of these guys to tuck in. Oh, these are so fun. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut up some of my already cut up little squares here, so I have some little ones just to help build the dimension. Just a smidge. Although some people really love, you can go all out with the foam. I don't very often, but sometimes. Ooh, where's my other? There we go. I could put him like right there. Stick him like that. Right there. And then this one I could hide behind. Boop. Like this. And that. And that. Okay. So I'm going to lift this up so I can tuck this behind that leaf. And I'm making the executive decision right this moment. The second card, I'm going to finish off camera because it's going to be the same. You guys don't need to sit here and watch me just like hum and haw over where I'm placing the same flower. It's the same. However, the second card, what I will do is set up the giveaway for that one on my blog post when it's all said and done. So that'll give those on the replay a chance to enter for that one. Because I'll take the photos and I'll post it, you know, all of that. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Where's my other leaves? I want a few more of those pieces. And a few of these guys. And then, of course, we've got a few of these little guys. There we go. There we go. Okay. Something. Oh, JC Gaspard. JC he is a scientist. He works in a lab, like as his full-time job, but he is a hobby gardener and is very knowledgeable about flowers. And yeah, his floral like composition and the ink blending he will do on floral die cuts, etc. He can make it's yeah. Highly recommend checking out. He does a lot. He's done a lot of videos on the Altanu channel. In fact, he usually has videos come out on Sunday, like 2 Sundays a month. He has a video on the Altenew channel. And yeah, the things that guy can do with ink and cardstocks, yeah. And JC, I think, yeah, JC's teaching with me at the Secret Garden Retreat. I think he is one of the instructors again. Yes, yes, yeah. His classes are awesome. Like, I'll just be sitting there with my jaw on the floor, and it's like, are you kidding me? Stop it. So good. Look at all those little flowers. They're adorable. I love them. Okay. Got those ones. Got to tuck in a few more little greenery bits here. You know, just to fill them all out. Um, but yeah, JC has been going live on his own channel. He's been going live Wednesday evenings, a fair bit later because he's in Colorado. So it's 8:30 Central time usually. I think that's about the time he goes live. He's been doing that on Wednesdays, and I try to tune in because again, it's kind of fascinating the way his mind works with paper and ink and all the things. Do I want to tuck one more little tulip in? No, I don't. I think, yeah, I want to tuck another one of these guys. Oh, yes. Yes. He wants to go like rather. Yes, he does. I've got like little bits of foam tape just all over me. Okay. But yeah, JC is teaching with me at the Secret Garden Retreat. And I know he's done other teaching gigs too with I think Concord and I'm not sure. He's done a lot. He does a lot. It's a lot on top of already working full time. There we go. That one, that one, that one. And then we can tuck a couple little leaves in there. Like this. And then it was hilarious that Kathy Z didn't know she's teaching at C9 Southern Time. Oh yeah. It happens, man. I find it always funny that I'm not the only one flying by the seat of my pants. And yeah, in some ways, a lot of us card makers are, we're a chaotic bunch. Yeah, I'm going to pull him. There we go. Just kind of tucking in some of the little bits here and there. No, because I can put he'll go. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. I think I want to still tuck in. Yeah, I kind of do. Where's the other? There it is. Tuck in another little bit here. Ooh, I already had one. Perfect. Stick that guy right there. And then that one I can tuck in right there. Boop. Balances out the science in his brain. Yes. No, that's why like crafting, not just carving, just crafting in general is therapy. Like I used to do the same thing. You know, you'd come home from work, deal with life, house, everything else, and then in the evening I would sit and make cards and just like decompress and have a grand old time. I loved it. There we go. There we go. I want that one. I just want to tuck in one more bit. Yeah, one more little bit of greenery. Let me put that piece of foam tape out of the way. Yeah, tuck one little bit in there. Okay. And then, I'm glad you guys enjoy my lives. Like, they're generally pretty chaotic, honestly. And it doesn't help I get distracted very easily. So many random rabbit holes usually get ventured down, which is all well and good. Because I think I want to stick a butterfly right there. No, do I want to stick any more flowers? He can go right there. Why not? We'll do one little teeny bit of foam tape on that guy. Right there. But yeah, my lives are chaotic. Let's just be honest. There we go. And then, yeah, we're going to stick him right in there. Just trim down. Sliver of foam tape on this one. Like that. That one can go there. Love it. I have a sentiment that I plan on sticking. It's very tone on tone. There was kind of a method to that madness as well. I'll get to the sentiment and where it came from in a second. Let's do that because the sentiment's not going to add it because of course we're going to add other splatter. You know. It's just what I like to do. No, I think 2 butterflies is good. I think 2 is good. Yeah. Okay, so we got that. Little butterflies. And then splatter. That. I think I want this on my card base before we actually do the final splatter, you know? One series read said that by nature humans were half chaos. I would say I'm at least, if not, I would say I'm probably more like at least 3/4. 3/4 chaos. The remaining quarter is just, a couple of trash pandas in a trench coat trying to human. That's me in a nutshell. Okay. I'm going to adhere this. I want to put, I got hair on my nose. Okay. The sentiment is from the blah, 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 blah stamp set. The sentiment's from a stamp set. Follow me for life-changing advice. Spring blooms. Little spring blooms. And I just white heat embossed him onto the same, it's Concord Night Nectar, because the Lawn Fawn stuff doesn't exist anymore. So I'd white heat embossed it, die cut it with the coordinating wafer die, and then die cut a scrap with the same wafer die so that I can pop it up a little bit and give it that little bit of dimension that I love so much. There we go. So that's going to go there. But we're going to leave him off because we want to add other splatter, of course. So we got our little thing going on. And then on the inside, I wanted to stamp. This is another oldie but goodie favorite. I forgot when this came out. This is the Friend Greetings set. And I wanted to I was going to put that on the inside. See, here's a method to my madness. Hello, spring. Let's put that over there. Because we're going to have our little watering can. This little mini watering can is from that spring editions, holder editions, whatever it's called. Hello, spring. Let's put... You're the best. You're the best. Put that on the inside, and I'm just going to stamp it with black ink. Where's my acrylic block? There we go. Okay. Oh, I love trash pandas. It's a good thing that raccoons aren't really a thing. I've heard stories that they've been spotted in the city. And yeah, it's probably a good thing they're not very common around here, because I would probably be breaking rules and laws and feeding them, and oh, the chaos would be so not good. But I love raccoons. They're such ridiculous little creatures. Yeah. There we go. So then we got that. Like that. Oh. Thank you, Fern. Thank you for the super chat. I know, isn't this watering can? That's adorable. And yeah, it's the Pretty Pink Posh holder. If it says like holder, it's meant for the critter die sets, because there's several of them now that have the little cutouts for so they're holding things. But obviously you can use them like however you want. But yeah, that's what this is. Obviously, so you can have one of those critters holding a watering can. Stop it, so cute. Because yeah, there's a bunny and a dog and a cat, a fox, a bear, the chick. I think that's all of them. There's a lot. There's a bunch of them. She's done an entire series over the last couple of years, however long it's been. But yeah, the springtime one I've been using a lot because it's just little flowery bits, and it has the umbrella, because yeah, I used the umbrella in that previous Pretty Pink Posh video, and I had it with the chick. And then the plan is, like I said, I'll do the second card off camera because it's just more fiddly bits. But I'm gonna have my umbrella, and then I die cut the handle from gold, of course, and then I'm gonna do this like have the flowers. It's gonna be similar, just a slightly different. So I'll just do that off camera. So okay, that was the inside of my card. Now let's adhere. Do I want to pop this up a little bit? I mean, why not? Why not? Let's give it a little bit of dimension. Where's my foam tape? I already lost it. There it is. No, this time it was beside me. Okay. Let's put some foam tape. I'm not a fan of raccoons that kill each other. Yeah, see, I had a random convo with the unpaid intern about this the other night, and I was like, I like all of these little creatures that are not common around here, but I am aware that for a lot of people in different parts of the world, they are very common, and usually they're pests. They're destructive, and the same thing with like, I love cockatoos. I love them. And yeah, where they actually live. And I find it funny because I don't have to deal with it. The fact that people have to put like heavy rocks on top of their garbage bins because the cockatoos have figured out how to flip the lids and, get into the trash and make a mess and all those sorts of things. And same with raccoons. They are smart little creatures. And yeah, I don't have to deal with them being little pests. The only thing we have to deal with that are pests around here are rabbits. And I love them. They're cute and they're adorable when I see them. But they come around in the winter and they chew on my really pretty ornamental flowering crabapple tree that I have in front of my house that I picked out because it's a very nice shape. And that sounds so weird, but seriously.
Now it's hollowed out.
Well, it's not fully hollowed out, thankfully, but it is a really nice shape because there's a lot of people in our area, a lot of other houses that have like flowering crabapple trees, and they're hideous. They really are. The trees are just misshapen and they're just weird looking, and mine is so gorgeous. And in the winter, bloody rabbits come around, and you can literally see them, like they circle around it. There's rabbit poop and tracks and they gnaw on it. And we need to make a point of like, we need to start like wrapping the darn tree in burlap or something. And yes, they have enough food sources because I've whined about this many times in the past. But yeah, they have plenty to eat around here. But yeah, you can literally see by their tracks sometimes that they just go on a bender some nights. and they show up and they just rip around my little tree in the front, poop everywhere, gnaw on the branches, and I'm just like, I'm so mad. So yeah. Okay. We got that. And then oh my gosh. Rebecca, I'm so jealous. I was a raccoon lady years ago, came about innocently enough, turned into a thing. Mamas would drop their babies off with me to entertain, and then mom would take a nap in the yard. I would totally be a raccoon babysitter. I would get nothing done. I would get nothing done. Jealous. So jealous. That would be me. Like, Chris would come home and I would have had, like, the house would be in flames and I'd just be sitting there with the raccoons, like, wee. That would be me. Oh my goodness, I would love that so much. Okay, let's add more splatter because, Amy can't help herself. So I'm going to take a little piece of washi tape and then okay. There we go. So a little piece of washi tape just to tape the card closed. In theory, to prevent splatter from getting inside the card. But even then, more often than not, I get splatter on the inside, even when it's taped closed. Why? How? I don't know. It just happens, and I'm okay with it. But I do try to prevent it. Okay. Just because I wanted, we'll do a bit of white splatter first with my white gouache, just to give it that little extra something. There we go. A little bit of white gouache and my trusty little fan brush. Oop, add a bit of water. There we go. There we go. And I just mix it till, there we go, till I'm happy with the consistency of it. And then add a good healthy dose of splatter because that's what I like to do. Yep. So a little bit of that. And then clean off my brush. Wipe off my palette. Like so. Burp, burp. There we go. And then I'm going to add just a little bit, which freaks people out, especially on a card that's very, very light, but a little bit of black splatter just because I can. Because I like it. But I'm not going to add a lot. A very demure, very mindful amount. Just a smidge. And both of these gouaches are from Altenew. I've used them a million times over. This black is extremely pigmented. That's what stains, like it stains my plastic palette. So I just kind of be mindful of what I'm doing and try not to get my elbow in it because this will stain your clothes. And I've got a fair bit in here, so when I've got a lot in my brush, sometimes I'll tap it off a bit just to make sure I'm not getting big blobs. There we go. And I'm just going to add a bit, not a ton. Like, I'm not whacking my brush like I normally would because, like, when I want to splatter, I will splatter with intention. But I just want a little bit. Just little bits here and there. Nothing too crazy. That. A little bit more. Yep. Okay, we're good. Um, It does. I don't know. I like block splatter. It just gives that little extra something. And yeah, who'd have thunk, you know? And then I wipe this up because again, it is staining. It wants to stain everything. So get all this out of the way. So we've got that. We got this. I lost my sentiment. Kind of not surprised. There it is. There it is. So I've got my little sentiment. And then I'm going to add, oh, yeah. We're going to pop him. Do I want to pop him up a little bit too? Yeah, I've got a little bit of foam tape. Just to give him, just again, just a smidge. Just a smidge of extra dimension. Just stick him on there. Like that. Boop. Yep. Yep. Love it. Okay. There. So got that. And then, splatter is one of the little joys in life. It 100% is. 100%. I don't know. I love it. I love adding splatter. It just gives a little extra something, a little extra texture, a little extra sparkle if I'm using, spritz, that sort of a thing. And it's also very good when I've made an oops, because more often than not, there's, a smudge or whatever, and it's like, add a bit of splatter, then you won't see it, or the splatter will cover it. Okay. So got that. I'm gonna tuck that right on there. And then, last but not least, we will add some stickles for some sparkle. I love stickles. So I've got some diamond stickles. So while I'm adding the little bits of stickles here and there, you can pick a winner.
All right, then.
For this card. Because that'll be the last little bit. And I'm putting it on really, really thin. Like barely squeezing the bottle. And kind of like dotting it in places too. Just do like that. So that if you apply it really thin, it dries much faster. It will sometimes it will depend on the ink brand. It will also sometimes just depend on the shade of ink. Stickles can change the color because it is a liquid product, and inks that are water reactive will react with it. And it is you notice it mostly too with things like reddy pinky shades. Like I will not be surprised if some of this changes as the stickles fully dries, because it's reactivating the ink a little bit, and it'll do its thing, but I don't care. It's worth it for the sparkle, because you just can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. So I just work my way around, move the card around so I'm not getting my hand in it, because that would suck. In fact, I'm even going to put it on top of that too. Why not? Right on the flower centers. Doop, doop, doop. Like that. And do a little bit on there. And then on there. But yeah, if you apply stickles really, really thin, it will dry fairly quickly. You can apply it thick, Like, you can almost get dimensional with it if you want. You just will have to set it aside and let it dry. Depending on how thick, sometimes it could take overnight. So you just want to leave it and let it dry. I almost never apply it super thick because I don't have the patience. But also, it's just, especially for things like this, it's just not necessary. Like, a little dab will do ya. Got that. I'll even add a little bit here and there to some of the greenery just because it's there. Like that. And then last but not least, of course, we'll add a little bit to our little vellum butterflies because they need a bit of sparkle too. Do. Like that. And then you always want to be careful or mindful. Stickles on vellum, especially if you glop it on, and depending on the weight of the vellum. Really thin vellum, if it's really, really thin, really fluid, be very careful with any sort of liquid product because the vellum curls with the moisture. And sometimes it'll literally curl up on itself. It's really lightweight. Simon's vellum doesn't do that for the most part, but it sometimes will curl a bit, especially as it's drying. But sometimes, usually when it's dry, it'll settle a little bit. But I usually like that with little critter wings. Like, it's like, give it the dimension. I'm here for it. But if you really glop it on, same thing. It could like curl and like fold in on itself almost. It depends on the weight, depends on how much you're doing, all the things. But generally, little tiny bits like this are fine. Fine. Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Kathy. We did have a chat. Boop, boop, boop. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to have other people on my live streams or like do, it doesn't have to be on a Sunday, but me and Kathy need to craft together. Although I think that might be a harbinger of who knows what. You know, combining our own types of chaos could get interesting. But anywho, we'll do it one of these days. Here we go. Okay. I just need to let the stickles dry. So this is still wet, but this is going to be our finished card. It's very busy. I had fun with it though. You know, there's a lot going on and I'm okay with it. You know? Yes. Yeah. Kathy and I we'll go live together. We'll make something. We'll do something, you know? It's a good time will be had once I figure out the technology aspect of it all. But yes. Yeah. Those that like to watch me, if you don't already watch Kat, most of us have I think we have a fairly overlapping audience, but if you don't, head on over to Kathy Zilski's channel. Especially if you like cleaner. She does more clean and simple. A lot of design tips too, which, yeah. It was funny. What was I talking about? I think it was like bling placement or something. We were talking about it in one of my lives, and it was like I think it was right at the same time Kathy uploaded a video, like discussing it. So follow Kathy for like more thought out design tips and things, because she explains it better than me. I'm just like, I'll just throw it on the card and that is what it is. But she's more mindful about like the rule of thirds and, design placement and all the things. And I'm just the chaotic mess maker. You know? We need all the styles. We need all the things. It's fun. It's fun. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this was fun. Oh, and the inside, of course. Our little, cute little, inside. And then just a riot of flowers and little butterflies and texture and all the things. All the things. Okay, let me go to... There we go. Who am I sending this card to?
Today's winner is Lisa in Texas.
Lisa in Texas. Awesome. My everything. I'll get it mailed out at some point. Oh, yeah. When it comes to design, the funny thing is, and it was Dawn Woolslagel who said it, and I parrot this back, is because she's another one that, like Dawn plus 9, a lot of you probably have followed her for years as well. She has an eye for composition and layering and depth and just so many things. I buy so much stuff. I told her that just the other day. I was like, I should send her an invoice for the amount of stuff I've ordered watching her content. Anyway, the whole point with design and like all the different theories, the rule of thirds and odd numbers, trying like all these things. Learning them, learning the rules is important. You learn the rules of design, you learn the rules of color theory, you learn them so you can break them. Because that's what I do, is I break most of it. But I already know a lot of it, and I'm coming around about it in a very odd way now, much later. I've already posted how many thousand videos, all of this stuff. And it's like I do this as a job, but it's like trying to explain the thought process. Yeah. So Kathy's a good one though. She breaks it down really nicely in very easy to understand bits. And I like that a lot. And also y'all can blame Kathy for me in the splatter. Literally, it's her fault. She's the one that got me using the fan brush. All her fault. So, yeah, she got me on it. And then she went back to a smaller brush and much more demure and mindful about it. Whereas me, I'm just like using this thing till I literally broke it, duct taped it together, and splatter all the things. But yeah, y'all can thank Kathy for my splatter obsession because I bought it because her. Thank you to the disembodied hand. Yep. I saw it. So thank you for helping me. So yeah. I'm just scrolling back through. It's your fault that I now decorate the inside of your cards. That's funny. Yeah, I love it. I should have paid attention better in my college art class. Well, and like a lot of people, a lot of makers, share in their own ways. It's always interesting how other people approach making because everyone does it differently. Everyone has a different style. Everyone has a different preference. Everyone has a different, some people do more clean and simple. Some people throw everything but the kitchen sink. Some people are more vintage grunge. Some people are more whatever, and that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it because it would be so boring if we all liked the exact same thing, the exact same style. It would boring, new, So that's what I love. Jump around, you pick up little bits from the different makers, different styles, different ideas, different little this, little that, the fan brush, whatever. And I love it. So that was the card for the live. There will be a second card because I did that little umbrella piece and the stenciling and things. It'll just be very similar to this, but I will finish the second card just off screen because this, as usual, got longer than I intended. Doing the fiddly bits, but that card's going to come together quite quickly because the bulk of the work was done during this live. So those watching on the replay, and for those watching right now, I will post the photos of that second card when I do up the blog post for this, then my socials and all the things. And that second card, I'll set up a little giveaway for that in the blog post. And that'll be for the replay peoples and whoever you want to enter it. It'll be done the same way as I do it on here with the little Google form. That's just the easiest way to do it. For me, it especially cuts back on like spam because being a content creator. Not only the tech issues I've been having, tech and software issues, email issues, tech gremlins, spammers, and that is like, I don't even want to know what percentage of my job is dealing with like spam promotion offers, spammers trying, you know, all the people trying to hack websites and like all of it constantly. It's constant. I get dozens of emails a day wanting me to promote either just spam promotions or like people wanting to promote garbage. So it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Anyway. Doodly doo. Yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out. The unpaid intern, as usual, is long gone. Long gone. Once his job is done, he's out of here, but we have like 5 million other things to deal with. And I play with products and techniques and watch a lot of makers, but don't feel like I've found my style yet. Honestly, I don't even feel like I don't find that I've never been able to define mine. I get asked that one a lot, especially if I'm doing like professional work and a brand is asking me like, how would you define your style? I'm like, is everything but the kitchen sink a style? Because that's what I think mine is. Because I'm not clean and simple. I'm not like the more vintagey grunge, but I'll do those and I like them. So I'll do them every once in a while. I'll dip my toe in clean and simple sometimes. I'll do the vintagey grunge sometimes. Splatter, layers, color. I jump around. I jump around. I like to play with all the things. I couldn't stick to one thing to save my life. I have fun. I have fun. So yeah, this was fun. This was fun. And my brain stopped. Holy, I'll do the second card. I don't have to update any links. Shockingly. Yeah, everything should be good. Oh, and then like I'd said at the beginning, I have that he had posted it in the chat, but on my website, because the live I did on Friday with Altenew, there's a code in that post. So just look for if you go to the AmyRasavi.com, which is always linked below, and you look for this card. Ooh, here. There we go. And you look for this card, that was posted on Friday. There's links to the 3 parts of the live stream we did. But I also have a code for the Secret Garden retreat. And if someone's watching this on the replay, because that code ends, I think, tonight. However, the other instructors, Kathy Zielski being one of them, they are each doing lives over the next little bit too with Altenew, and they'll have a code as well. So yeah, worth tuning in for those. Those will be on the Altenew channel. And when I talked to Kathy, and I was able to tell her personally. I joked about it during my live. I hope I took one for the team, and that all the other instructors' lives go without a hitch, because mine was pure chaos. It was so chaotic. So yeah, I think Kathy's going live tomorrow. I think I haven't checked, but hers will be coming. There's JC, Aram. I forget who's all teaching. I already forget, and I don't have the unpaid intern here to look. Altenew. Who all is teaching at that retreat this year with me? Secret Garden. I could have rattled all the names off, but my brain just... Yana's doing... Okay. There's me, Kathy Zielski, Tesneem, Yana Smakula, JC Gaspar, and Therese Calvert are the instructors, and then Jennifer McGuire is doing a bonus class for it as well. So there's going to be like all the lives and yeah, tons of inspiration. Tons. So your style is messy and real. Yep. I set my channel so only subscribers can comment on lives. That's most of my lives. I've done the same thing. I have it set so that only subscribers can comment for most of my lives. Every once in a while it has to be open because it's like a brand sponsored live and it needs to be like more open. But yeah, that is one way we've been able to cut back on the troll, because and that's why the unpaid intern sits in and helps moderate. Which for the most part, it's been fine for quite some time. But when I started doing the lives consistently, I was getting hit so hard with troll. Like, it was insane. Like, it was so stressful and frustrating dealing with it that he started sitting in so he could help moderate, because it was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. But we weeded most of that out, and it rarely happens now, thankfully. Um, but yeah, so there's that. And then there's that Simon sale going on. I have that linked with the code that ends tonight as well. So that's it for the housekeeping. I will let you all know I do plan on doing a bonus live this week. I'm just not exactly sure when. I'm not sure exactly when yet. It'll be one of these probably in the evening, but I'm not. Last week was chaos. Really hoping this week is better, because I have a lot I need to deal with. And I remember that. It was awful. I felt so sorry for you. Honestly, I don't really care. But I've been doing this for a really long time. Like the trolling and stuff, I don't really care. It's just annoying, and having to like delete and block. But I would rather people come after me than like the newer makers who, no one should have to deal with it. But yeah, it was just chaos in the beginning, and it was what it was. But we've been able to, we have to keep it open for brand lives. It depends. It just depends on things. Doing this as a content creator and live streaming is just its own little like Wild West in a way. But yeah, and some people like to just be miserable. Sometimes it's just random trolls that just want to pop in and be really pathetic and immature. And then other times it's just people that are just, well, all trolls really. It's like they're a very unhappy person. Cause yeah, if you feel the need to go on any content creator's content, but especially like card making and crafting and anything like that, anyone who feels the need to go on there and then leave rude comments, picking apart people's appearances or how they sound or whatever it is, always remember, always, and I'm speaking to the other makers, always remember that those comments have nothing to do with you as a person, your appearance, how you sound, any of it, or what you make. It has nothing to do with any of it. That person is miserable and they need therapy. Because if you're having a bad day and your choice, bad day, bad year, bad whatever, and your choice is to go on someone else's content and be all like, oh my God, it looked so much better before you ruined it with Splatter. Or, get your glasses fixed. And like, I've had people scream at me over my glasses, like flip out, to the point where I now have a copy and paste response, because I don't even respond. I just copy paste and I just say, my skin is very oily. My glasses have been adjusted, but they slide on my face. It happens. I have to adjust them frequently. It doesn't bother me. But if it bothers you so much that you feel the need to scream at me in the comment section, I copy paste my response and I move on about my day. So yeah, it just speaks about the other people. And I only talk about it when it gets brought up to just remind, because I have had other makers in the past reach out to me. I've known personally some that have quit doing this. They have quit sharing their art online because it just got to be too much. And that makes me really angry, because it's card making, man. It is paper and ink and sparkly bits and just pure joy and fun, as it should be. So those that try to ruin it can just go kick rocks. So anywho, Bunny the Rabbit, that's hilarious. That's same. My skin is oily. I just tell people I can fry chicken with it. Yep, same. My skin is very oily. So oily. I have like, I keep some powder now by my, and a little literal makeup brush. And now sometimes, especially because I'll be filming an intro like really late at night and I'm just an oil slick and the light is bouncing off my face. So I'll quickly powder and then film my intro because I don't really care. But but yeah, my glasses are always slipping down my face and just is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah. Um, your experiences are half of why I won't put my face out there. I feel it and I hear you, and I will never tell anyone to just just get over it because that doesn't help. Like, and it's pandering. Um, and a person doesn't have to, really. We make cards. We don't have to show our faces. Honestly, the funny thing is, this will be my last little bit before I call this live a day. The funny thing is, the only reason I fully I've always shown my face. I kind of find it funny. Every once in a while, someone will stumble across my content and they're like, "Oh, finally, putting a face to it." And I was like, "Dude, I've been showing my face on camera for like a decade. It just in various ways on various platforms." Um, but I started doing it more again over a decade ago because it literally was getting to the point where I had so many people trolling me with my videos and my blog posts and things, getting angry at me for not posting often enough. Like it was a problem. It was like I was on design teams, I was doing this more as a side gig, whatever, but people getting angry. Like I was getting emails and comments and people just livid with me and the demanding ridiculous things. So I started showing my face more on camera to remind people that I am a human being. I am human. I'm not a machine. I'm not a robot. I can only do so much. And now I don't. I think that if there was a complaint, it's probably because I pump out too much content. But I now do this as a full-time job. So you're back. Are you gonna get some snicky snicks?
Possibly.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I like snacky snacks. Okay. Um. Yeah. Go kick rocks. Oh yeah. Yeah. Some people are just miserable, and especially in the online space, it's everywhere. A lot of people are very, very miserable. And in some ways, it's for very valid reasons. Just world economy, yada, 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 yada. However, it isn't a constructive way to deal with it by going in comment sections and just ripping apart people's appearances, life choice, whatever, you know? It's so, it's so antithetical. It's so useless. And it's just, I just avoid a lot of comment sections and I stick to mostly just my card making groups and content and that sort of a thing for the most part. If it's anything other than that, I just avoid the comment sections because it's not worth absorbing all that negativity. And do I really care what random, mostly uneducated, unwashed men have to say? You know? And if it's women, they should know better. But yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, people are whatevers. But yeah, those that want to share their creations, whether it's card making, crochet, whatever, you want to share your art online, do it. Do it. And do not take any of it personally. And I absolutely abhor the mentality of, well, you put it out there. And the ones when I catch people saying that to others, because it's like, you're just as bad as the trolls themselves, you know? No. So those that want to post their stuff on Instagram, YouTube videos, Facebook, wherever you start a little blog, that's all fine. Delete, block. Don't entertain them. Don't even bother. It's just not worth it because yeah, sometimes they're bots. The rest of the time they're just miserable people, and it's not worth our time and effort. So there's my little treatsy on trolling. it's always kind of front of mind because it happens a lot. And yeah, yeah. So anywho, um, yeah, my glasses slide. I get them adjusted. Like mine are adjusted because that's what people like to scream at me is like, like just get your glasses adjusted. Like I've had just unhinged, literally unhinged, like all caps yelling at me, and I'm like, y'all, my glasses fit me like just fine, but skin very oily, like literally so oily. And I have to wear plastic. I can't wear wire frames with like the little nose pads and things because those would sit better, but I can't wear those because even though brands will claim they're nickel free, it's usually just a coating. My skin oils will eat the coating on the frames, and then I will, because I have a severe nickel allergy. My skin will eat that coating, and then I'll get rashes. So I have to have plastic frames. So I can't have like the little nose pads. And they can only be adjusted so far because if they're too tight, they rub sores against my ears. So just like any of those trolls are going to watch any of my lives to this point and understand that. But it's like, I know in my grand old age, in my 40s, and decades of wearing glasses and all the issues I've had, these fit my face. They work. My hair's all over the place. Whatever. And they're going to slide. Because I am, I'm an oil slick, man. I am an oil slick. It is what it is. It is what it is. Um, yeah, oily skin is just life. It's just life. And like I said, I've got my little bit of powder, but I'd have to, in a live like this, I'd have to reapply it like every 30 minutes. I ain't going to do that. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It is what it is. And I'm fine with it. And I don't mind readjusting my glasses. It really makes some people like crazy angry. It's like, okay. Anyway, I'm going to clean up my mess, finish the second card, and then I'm going to do, yeah, gravity. Yeah. And I'm always like, especially because I'm looking down, I'm working, I'm looking down. And so it just is what it is. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, I was allergic to nickel too. Yeah. I can't wear like most costume jewelry, anything like that. That's also why I like wear almost no jewelry because I either have to have the real stuff, which is expensive, or it needs to be things like stainless steel. Like the little hoops that I wear are surgical grade, like like they're expensive. But I never take them out. Because yeah, my skin will literally eat coatings on stuff that claims to be nickel free, and I will know quite quickly after a few wears because my neck will turn green or like I will get like it's awful. It's gross. So anyway, yep, I'm gonna go do some snacks because yeah, the unpaid intern was running to the store and he knows to get me snacks. And that always puts me in a better mood too. So anyway, I am gonna go. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I like sitting and talking because also I'm let's be honest, I'm procrastinating because as soon as this live ends, I got to get to clean up the mess I made, which is literally everywhere and behind me, and I don't want to. I don't like cleaning up, man. Um, Doodly doo. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm looking forward to some snacks, and I'm gonna do my second card, my blog post. I have, I have a video coming tomorrow. Yes, I have a video coming tomorrow, and I have a Patreon video coming tomorrow. Um, a card video coming tomorrow with a deal. So stay tuned for that. That'll probably go up in the morning, I think. I was getting things edited and uploaded yesterday. And then I'll have several other card videos coming. Most likely another live. I'm just not sure yet what day. Do I have anything else going on this coming week? Yeah. Several card videos. Oh, there's a release coming later this week. There's a lot. There's going to be a lot coming from me this week. A lot of content. So stay tuned. I appreciate I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Creating is fun. Cleaning after, not so much. I don't mind the cleaning. I'm just looking at this absolute mess I made, and I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. So then I procrastinate and ramble on to you guys for as long as possible. And yeah, no more procrastinating. Amy, get to work. Wah. But yeah, second card, video tomorrow. Check out my website for that Altenew live I did Friday, because I have a code for the Secret Garden Retreat that expires tonight. And the Simon sale, that is linked below. That ends tonight as well. There's a lot of stuff in that category, and I have a 50% off code. So that is worth checking out, because there's some good stuff in there. And then yeah, tons of content coming, all kinds of cards and fun things, and that's it. I'm going to go, and I will talk to you guys later. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe, those that are getting a bunch of snow. Hopefully you're all ready to go and can do some hardcore crafting, And yeah, I will talk to you all later. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!